Hi everyone, welcome back to another review from the Class 47PT YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be taking a look at one of Hornby's most anticipated models for this year, and that model is the Ruston Hornsby 48DS. Now, this model was first announced at the beginning of the year by Hornby in their 2019 range, and this is a model that I've been looking forward to since the beginning of the year. This is, however, the second model that I've had, because the first model I had was unfortunately faulty, and so I had to send it back to Rails of Sheffield. When I put it on the track, the model just wouldn't work. So I got in touch with Rails of Sheffield and I sent the model back, and I've got a replacement, which has just turned up in the post. So the packaging that this model comes in is the now standard plastic ice cube packaging that we're familiar now with most of the manufacturers. With the packaging removed from the tray of the box, we have the paperwork. So here we have the instruction manual for the model. I won't be boring you by reading all through this, because it's all the stuff we've seen before. And we also get this little piece of paper as well, which concerns the body removal of this model. It tells that you need to ensure that the front and the rear sockets are pushed into the chassis before you attempt to remove the body. So that's the paperwork covered. We also do get a little accessory bag, and in here we have some slim tension lock and M couplings, as well as a blanking plug as well. Now that the model has been unboxed, I am pleased to say that this model works, and you shall see how well this model runs later. But the first thing that does strike me with this model is the size of it. When it comes to double O gauge models, this is the smallest locomotive that I own. It's not very often I do a size comparison, but I'll just grab the Sentinel, which is also a Hornby model, and you can see the size comparison with both models. The Sentinel 4WDM is much bigger than the Ruston. You can see just how small the Ruston is compared to the Sentinel. And also, the Ruston 48DS also has the shortest wheelbase that I've seen on any model, especially the ones I have in my collection. Again, I'll compare the wheelbase with the Sentinel to that of the Ruston. So it really is a tiny little thing. Now we move on to the detail of the model. Now, this is not the most detailed model that I've seen, but then the Ruston 48DS in real life isn't all that detailed anyway, so in terms of accuracy, the detailing on this model is accurate. But for the detail on this model, we do have metal buffers. We've also got a dummy coupling hook in the front there. We've also got Ruston crisply printed on the front there, on the top. And also, just look at the mesh grille on the front. I mean, the detail on that looks absolutely superb. We also have some eye pins on the sides of the model, on the frames, and they are separately fitted. Do be careful with those, however, because they are quite fragile, as I learnt on the last model that I had to be returned. We've also got the footstep there for the cab, and also we have axle box covers and some sanding gear, as you can see. We also have separately fitted handrails on the cab, as you can see, We have glazing in all the cab windows as well. Now the livery application on this model is spot on. This is the Ruston Hornsby Works Limited livery, which is a green livery, and it really is a beautiful shade of green, which is very nice and evenly applied with no errors in the paint anywhere at all. And the lining on this model really is very neatly and crisply applied, and it does look beautiful on this livery as well. We also have the Ruston Hornsby logo crisply printed on the cab sides as well, and the detailing on the printing on that looks superb. We also have the radiator cap, as well as the exhaust. We've also got what looks like a little horn and lights, which don't work, they're painted, but those details look very nice. And also on the sides of the loco, on these latches, we've got these little grills, which do look very nice. With this model we also get what's called a match wagon, which is a conflat wagon, and this has extra pickups. And the idea with this wagon is that it ensures smooth running over areas such as electrofrog points, etc., due to the short wheelbase on the loco. Now you can remove the match wagon if you want to, and I'm going to demonstrate that now, though you will have to excuse my fingers because they may get in the way. So there we go. That's the match wagon disconnected. Now it is worth mentioning that you can put the match wagon on the front of the loco, should you want to. And I'm just going to roughly demonstrate this, but this is the bit that connects the loco up to the match wagon. You can see these little holes at the front. They just slot into them like so. And then they just simply slot into the wagon. I haven't bothered connecting this bit up to the front of the loco because this is just to roughly demonstrate, but you get the idea. So you can have changed the match wagon over, so you can have it at the front of the loco or at the rear of the loco, should you wish. I think I'll stick with it being at the back of the loco, on the rear, I think. Now you can run this loco without the match wagon. Now this little connector here that connects the loco up to the wagon you can remove, as I shall demonstrate, and you can put in a NEM coupling or even a KD if you wish. So there you are, you can fit one of these, and so you can run this model without the match wagon, although because of its short wheelbase it may struggle, especially on electrofrog points, etc. But I will be testing this model with and without the match wagon to see how well it runs. Now with the match wagon you could also take out this plug with the two wires in, which basically connects the loco up to the match wagon. So you could remove that and basically have this wagon as it is, with couplings on it at both ends. So here's the coupling I've taken out at the rear of the wagon, and I'm just going to do this to demonstrate. So there you are. So you could fit two at each end and just use the wagon as it is. Now the match wagon does have some nice detail. We have metal wheels on the wagon. We do have some nice rivet detail on the frames. We've also got R&H, which stands for Ruston Hornsby, crisply printed on the sides. We've also got the maximum load on the wagon number, crisply printed as well. And we do have some rather nice looking plank detail as well. One thing I would say though with the match wagon, it is a little bit bare and bland looking as it is now. So one thing I shall be doing is I shall be putting a wagon load on this wagon, which I think will look quite interesting on this wagon once it's done. But it is still quite a very nice wagon, it has to be said. So now we come to the running performance for the Ruston Hornsby 48DS. And that is a smooth runner. And that's with the match wagon in tow. So there's no motors burning out or horrible noises or stuttering movements. It runs exactly as it should do, straight from the box. You have to excuse the layout though. I am in the process of changing some of it, such as the street in the back there, that'll be changed. And also the village school up here is also going to be having a change done to it. But yeah, I mean, that is really smooth. And very quiet as well. So this is the model running without the match wagon. And so far she seems to be running very well. Very smoothly in fact. So how will this cope over this set of points? Look at that. Goes over the points with no problems at all. So this model so far is running just as smoothly as it does with the match wagon in tow. So how will this loco cope around this section? No problems at all. So now we'll see how it can manage over these sections of points. I'm sure she can go over them just as well as she did with the others, without issue. Yep, look at that. She goes over the points with no problems whatsoever. So that shows you that this model can be run with or without the match wagon, and it runs just as well with the match wagon as it does without it. So we've covered the unboxing, the detail and the running performance, both with and without the match wagon. So what do I think of this model? Well, I think this is a great model. What I would say though is that the match wagon can be a bit fiddly to attach and detach from the loco, but other than that though, which is only a minor little niggle, this is a great model. It is very well detailed. It runs well, both with and without the match wagon, considering that this is only a small loco with such a short wheelbase. And the match wagon on this model is an added bonus as well. Although the match wagon itself will be given a wagon load, because like I say, it does look a bit bare without one. But it is a great model, especially for the price of £71, which is what I paid for this. And I think that these little Ruston Hornsby 48DSs from Hornby are going to be popular, very much like the Peckets. So if you'd like one of these, whether it's this particular version that's already out, there are still some left, so go and buy one. Or if the others interest you, then wait till one of those comes out, one of the remaining versions for this year, and go and buy one of those. But when they do come out, you know, I would grab one whilst you can, because otherwise these could sell out before you can get the chance to get one. So I definitely recommend one of these in your collection. Regardless, whatever your model, get one. So that brings us on to the end of this review for the Hornby Ruston Hornsby 48DS. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Feel free to post a comment and hit the like button. And also, do feel free to subscribe if you want to, or why not check out all the other content. So that's all for now, and I'll see you again soon for the next video. But until then, this is Class 47 Peter signing off. take care.